from Java Shell. I'm going to teach you Python in this course, and please subscribe my page. And trust me, at the end of the video, you will be a Python coder. So many languages are present here: C++, C Sharp, Java. Then why Python? Because it's an all-rounder language. Yes, you can choose anything: game development, data science, GUIs, any web application. You can create anything with Python. That is the importance of Python. Also, in this course, you know what? We will use Google Colab. Yes, Google Colab as an IDE for Python. You don't need to install anything in your device or in your system. You just need Google Colab, and you just need to save file, and this browser will help you to run your Python code. And you can save your code, you can send it to your friends, colleagues, anywhere, and you can access that code even after years. So let's start with the course.
So let's start with what is Python. I'm going to teach you first with an example, and you can just figure out with this image that life of Python programmer is so chill and relaxed. And yes, it truly is. You don't need to worry about a lot of things in programming. You just need to worry about the problem. And that's why this programming is very much easy, and and also very reliable also, friends. So this particular programming only focus on the problem rather than in the language tool in which we are working. So here are some more important features of Python, which is easy to read, easy to implement, use, interactive, and portable. Friends, if you want to write code in a less number of lines, like we used to write in C or Java, then you have to opt for Python. So let's start, and I'm going to share my screen. So first we have to find Google Colab. It allows you to write and execute your Python code in the browser, and also zero configuration is required, and it is free to access and easy to share. So first you have to sign in, and then you have to open that file and new notebook. And so we have to write our code there. So whether you are a student, a data scientist, or an AI researcher, Google Colab will make your work very, very easier. So let's start with our first Python program and see how it works. So you will see that in this Google Colab, you can save your file just like a Google Drive, and you can share it with any of your friends and colleagues. So first you have to change the file name the way I'm changing, like Python, and then you can start your code. So these are the cells below, if you can see, and plus code will generate a new cell, and in every cell you can run your code independently. Okay, so we have to start with your first code and a first program, of course. So here it is. The print command will be used to execute our code. So first we have to execute hello, and hello we have to put in inverted commas, and we have to use print command and brackets, and then we have to use that arrow button for run. So we will run our code and see the output. So there it is. Earlier it will take little bit time, but it will execute, and then it will execute smoothly. This is the very good, I would say, IDE to run, your Python code. So here it is, Hello Java Shell. The first program has been executed, and congratulations for that. So let's start with our next code. So we want to add two numbers. So I'm writing print 9 plus 1. It is not a string, it is integer. So we are not writing in strings. So here it is. The answer is 10. So it has been executed properly. So we'll take a new cell now, and now we will, show 10 stars in a row. So how it works? Print. We have to put, a star in inverted commas, and then we have to multiply that by 10. So here it is, star, yes, in inverted commas, and then we have to just multiply by 10 so that it prints like 10 times, okay, of that star. So we have to now run our code and see the output screen. So see, you can see the stars has been printed. Okay, and now we have to talk about comment. For comment we have to use the hash button. And why hash? Because that is the syntax of the Python. But if you will put hash in front of any code, you know what will happen, that code will not be executed or run. So we can try it. See, only the addition of two numbers has been executed and hello Java shell is not executed because we have put hash in front of our code. So this is a way to comment. In a larger programs, it is helpful. So you can add a new cell. So wherever your arrow will be, that cell will be added here, or you can use up and down arrow of a cell in the right side corner to adjust. Okay. So now we have to start with a new concept, that is variables. So variables also you can write in a hash comment, because later on when you will come to a code, that time you will be able to see that which code define which concept. So we're gonna write the concept of variable, or we have to start coding. So what is variable? Basically it is a source of some source of a container where our data is stored. Like in a kitchen we store our pulses or food products in a container. That way in our coding we also store in some form of variable, so that it is just easy to use anywhere, like in functions or in classes. So it is good to store somewhere so that you can access. So I'm just printing x and y, like I have used variables like this. So there are some rules also to write variables. You cannot start it with the capital letter. You cannot start like that, or you cannot start with the star or hash variable. So you have to be very particular when you write rules. You can Google more for the rules. Okay, now I'm just hash commenting my this print command, so that when I write my new code it does not alter there. So I'm going to write now new print command. I'm going to add these two variables like x and y. So it will definitely give the result, that will be 7. You can see that. And this way you can try some more operators, plus, minus, multiply, these are operators. So you can try as many operators you want here. We'll discuss operators later on also. Also, you can take any string, like I'm taking string Avni, that's my name, and I'm taking and storing it in a variable z, and now I'm going to print it. So printing is a lot of fun, and I think if you are a non-coder, that you will say the coding is like very easy. But if you know coding earlier, you will say, "Oh my God, Python is like very easy. You don't need to, import certain things, like we have to do in Java and C++." So what kind of error here it is coming up, like you cannot add a string and an integer. That is what I want to show. You cannot add two different variables, like one can be a string, one can be an integer. You cannot add that. The this Python coder will not accept that. So you have to be very careful while adding. So it can just print the z, or you can write and concatenate with any other line, but you cannot just directly add with any integer. And now we will see how to just concatenate two variables which are using string. Actually, one is of me and one I'm writing wants to learn coding. So these are the two strings we want to add. And how we will add, we'll take another, we can take another variable, or we just write print z plus a. Okay, you can also take another variable, like x or anything else. X is equal to z plus a, and then you can print that. So this is the way, and this is the output. Avni wants to learn coding. This is how things work in Python. These are very easy concepts in Python, which are we working on. Of course, this is a beginner's course, and things will get complicated in the end, but it will not be that complicated like in other programming languages. Also we want to, if we want to know the type of any variable, we can find the type. If we want to type the want to know the type of x, what is x? So for us it is integer, and if you want to know the type of what is the type of a string, so that is particularly string. If you will type that, you have to just in the brackets write type to know the type. This is a syntax to know the type of any variable. So you will see the result. Okay, I'm doing it, and I have to run. This may be a screen come up, a pop-up. Okay, I now run, and you can see the code here. The type x, I've written type and x in a bracket, and then I've write type z, and in output you can see there's integer, int means integer, and str means string. So it is coming up. So now we'll comment all these lines. What kind of commenting I'm doing, like three dots, what is this? It's a multiple line commenting. If we want to comment multiple lines, then we have to use the three colon single colon signs. So this is the way you can do multi-line comment. In generally, in big projects, like I said, the people do multi-line comment so that later on they know what kind of update they have done in their codes. So they prefer to write multi-line and as well as single line comments usually. So now we'll work on more certain things. We are changing y into 4.1. Now we'll work on floating point variables. So let's see. First going to check the type of floating point, and the process is same. You have to write type in the brackets of print, and then again the variable in the another brackets, and you can see the class. They are saying that is float. You don't have to know the concept what is class, and later on I'm going to explain you this each and every step. So till now you just understand the type of variable is float, and you can do as many changes or additions or whatever you want in the code you can do right now. So now I'm just printing like x and y. The one is integer and another one is floating point, and their addition is definitely successful. There is no need to be change. There are no need to convert one form into another like we used to do in another programming languages. So it is very easy here, you can see. And you know what, the inbuilt classes like the class float have been written. These are actually the inbuilt classes of Python. You don't need to import. This is already inbuilt in the editor. So you just need to have to just write whatever things are. So now we have to start with a new concept, that is like assigning multiple values. How you can assign multiple values uh, of to a variable. You can have a one variable have a different assigning. So we can check it out now. So when I'm taking like x comma y comma z, so and I'll assign it to three different values. It can be like that also. X is equal to 1 comma 2 comma 3. You can do assigning. That is also called assigning multiple values. But now I'm going to take three variables and going to take three different variables and their assignments. So I've just do this, and I've just seen one thing that earlier I used to have, x is equal to 3, and then I am again rewriting x is equal to 1. Then the earlier value is just like cancelled for the coder or this notebook. So why this is happening? This is a very good thing about Python, that it overrides your variable. So even you don't comment it, then also your value will be override if you use by the same name. So I think it's a good thing. So the output is here, it is 1, and now we will you know that concept which I'm earlier talking about, that x is equal to y is equal to z, you can assign that with only one thing, that is I'm taking as a string now, because earlier I taken integers, now I'm taking string. So I'm going to print that, and you will see, if I'm going to print anything like x y z, the output will be Avni. That's my name, friends. So in Python, you will see the beautiful concepts. It is so easy to, I won't say, learn. I would just say it's such an English form of coding, that it is just, you are writing in a maths notebook, something like that. So this is a print, and you can see the Avni is output here. And now we will check out some rules of variables. So but before that, I want to tell you why this assigning is important, where it is important. Actually, it will actually save the space. We keeps on writing a is this, b is this, c is this. So you can assign it directly in one line. That is good. So I think that is why this concept is important to tell you before. So now we will discuss the rules of variables, which I told you earlier to find in Google. There are some more also, but I will tell you three main rules. So one is, you should write, you should put actually underscore between two words. If you have two words of a variable, like full name, then you have to use underscore. You cannot just give a space. That will not be acceptable. Okay, so I'm going to tell you by example, which I have just told you before. So this is the way I'm writing. Also, use underscore, no spaces, if name has two parts, like full name. See, this is the way I'm writing variable full, and underscore, and then name. So this is the way you have to represent in your coding. And the second one is, you cannot just write Avni like in capitals, and then you can write in small letters. You just cannot overthink about it. You have to be particular about it. Like if it is written in small letters, then you have to use in small, and if it is given in capital letters, then you have to use in capital ones. That is why it is called case sensitive, that the way you have earlier written, you have to use it that way only. And the third one is, you cannot use alphanumeric things, like star and hash in variables. So it will create a problem. It is not acceptable by editor, and even by Python coding. So you have to be like very very careful in this. After this, we will learn a new concept, that how to take input from a user. If I want that I should take input from a user or from you by writing a code, that how to do that. So first we will comment it, like I told you before, that if you will comment every article beforehand, then it will be easy to find your concept when you need it. So I'm writing it how to take input from user in a comment, and then we will explain you the concept. And this is a function which we use to take input, that is input, input, and then brackets we use. This is a function we use. If you will just run like this, you will get a box where you can just write a number. But I don't want you to just write in a blog. I want that you should represent your code in a very good manner. So I'll take a variable name in which the input should be stored, and then we'll use a string comment to represent that box of input. Like in this case, you can use anything, like what is your name, or anything. Tell me your name. So I'm writing your name and question mark. So this is the way. And also you have to print that variable. You just cannot write this code and run. You need to print that. That is the favorite code in the Python. We start with this code. So we will print it. You can print in a very good form, like my name is plus name, or you can concatenate a variable with a string, but also you can just directly print like name. That's it. Then also it will show your results. So your name and the box is here, which I told you before, and your name you have to write it your whatever you want, and the output will come in any case. So what if we want that that box should come in another line? So we will use that n/n thing, and which I told you before also. If you will use that, that box will come in another line and your result will come in another line. So these are the things that need to be noticed, very minor but very important things, and really the things of representing your code, or representing when you work on the higher level, when you make forms or XYZ anything. So now we will work on the thing which I was telling you before, that if you want to, just use the print command and then input statement inside it, then how we will use. First, we will comment that, double light comment. So, I will declare a variable, and then I will write print. Okay, and then I'll start a bracket, and inside I'll write input, and inside the input I will define the bracket which is used for the input function. So whatever we want to write, like what is your name, enter your name, or anything you want to write, we choose a form format. In the form you want enter your name, so we will just enter your name, and then in second line we will just print the variable x in which all of this is stored. So we will print x, and in another line we you can take another example. In form there are so many things: mother's name, father's name, age, etc., etc. So we will take two lines to represent this. So we'll write input, enter your father's name, let it be. Okay, I'm typing into your father's name, and then we will just run our thing. So you will see the two boxes in this time, and you will notice that there are two boxes and direct boxes, and the output will come in the next line. So this is a way of just using input command in just one line. So earlier you were using in two different lines. So this is the way. So this is our output screen, and they are saying enter your name, and I'll type anything like Avni, and you can use a space before the inverted commas ending part, so that to represent in a very nice manner. And then you will write your father's name, whatever I write that, and then you will run the code, and you will see the output will come on the second line. So this is the way the things work. And I also want to tell you, what if the the input is a number. We are discussing about strings, and everything is string here. What about if the number is a variable or an input thing? So that is a question, and that is not solved by this method. We have to do typecasting. you know there is a term called typecasting, and we will work on it, and we will learn how typecasting is done. So that I will do in the next cell. Okay, so let's start with typecasting, and then we will do how to take input from a user in a form of number. Okay, so let's start this typecasting process. So, first I have to write this typecasting in my comments, so that you understand whenever you go through this code, what is typecasting. So first we will, declare a variable x, and that to 31. Okay, and that in a string format. Okay, and then what you will do, Then I will take another variable, or first you will print this, and the type of this x, it will come out to be a string, not a integer, because we have put that inverted commas. Okay, then now we need to just convert this number, that too in a string format, into an integer. Then what we will do, we will take another variable, or you can also take same variable, that is not a problem. Or in this case I'm taking another variable and I will write int, and then inside we will write the x variable. Okay, and then what you will do, and now you will print this y and check it out, that what is the answer. You will see that it will change into a integer. Okay, integer variable. So this is how we can just convert a string format into a number format. So this is the only way. You can also convert vice versa, but only in a condition if that is a number. You cannot convert like ABC into integer, so that is not possible. You can convert 31 into integer. Okay, so now what we will do, we will see the print, sorry, type of that y variable, or you can override x also. So that will come out to be int. So that is a typecasting format, and it is very necessary in many forms, like when we are doing functions or when we are taking input from the variables. So that is like very important. Now we will check the addition of that changed variable and just integer. We just add x plus 2, and the answer is came out to be 33. So it's adding up. It really shows that it has changed, the typecasting has been done. So that the typecasting process has been executed. This is what I want to teach you. At the time of when I was saying to take input from a user, the typecasting has to be done when the integer take place. So we will check the code above, and we were taking strings, enter your name, enter your father's name. So now we will take, like, enter first number, second number, enter your age. We will talk about input as int or integer variables. So that will only be happen with the help of typecasting, which I told you earlier. So I have commented the lines. Now I will write the code for that. uh, so I will take a variable first. Okay, and when I take a variable, I will first write is equal to int, and in that int I will write everything, like that you know whatever input, enter name, enter anything. So I will write in that bracket, but first I have to write int. I have to do typecasting before taking input from a user in a form of integer. Without doing typecasting, you cannot perform this operation. Your result will not come out. That is for sure. So I'm doing typecasting here, and this is a definition of x, and it will come out to be in an int. And then I take another variable, and that is y. Okay, enter the first number and all that. So this I will change it to a second number. Okay. So this is, these things are like important. You can enter age or whatever you want to write. Then I will, run my code, and you will see the change. You can also, give space before ending columns, so that your code looks more representable. That is very important. Your code should look representable, and also there must be some logic to of your code. That is number one thing. Okay, so I'm now adding up these two numbers, x plus y, to just check it out if they both add up. And if they both add up, then my whatever task which I was thinking in my mind will be done. Okay, I want to add two numbers when I take input from two users. Okay, okay, that is performed 9 and 1, and the answer is 10. So that is all about typecasting, friends. Now we will do coding on strings, and so the strings has been started. That is our new concept. And you have heard earlier in the coding about strings when I was telling you that is has to be done in inverted commas. So we will now do more coding on strings, that what else we can do with strings. So let's start. I will take a variable name and just declare it in inverted commas. Let's take Java Shell, that is our academy, online academy. So I'll take that name. It's a very good academy, friends, and uh, you should subscribe my page to learn coding in a very advanced format. So I'll print the name, and when I'll just click on the run button, the Java Shell is printed. It's just normal. It's just like hello world or hello friends. So what if like we have to print two statements for one a variable in our print code? So what we will do with that, if we will write just like that, like earlier with two columns, so it will not be printed. See, there will be an error. If you will run this code, there will be an error. So what we will do, like we do for multi-line comment, we use three columns. So we will use that for double line, double line string, and then we can print that. If we'll do that, only then our statement will be printed. Java Shell is a good academy. So what if we want the first letter as an output, or second letter as an output, or third letter as an output? What is need to be done? How can we do that? For that, what we need to do, we need to use square brackets, and we have to put the number. In this, things work in a very different manner. The numbering starts from actually 0. So J letter refers 0, and A letter refers 1. So this is the way things work. So when I write 1, the output was A. So we will make things now less complicated. I again write Java shell, okay, and now we will take out the length of this name variable. That what is the length of this name? What is the length of Java shell? So you will have to write len. That is a command, okay. Length, and in between that you have to write the variable name. And when we will run, the output will be here. So the output is 10. So if you can count it, 4 in Java, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So basically 10 numbers are there to refer the length of the Java shell. When you can count also in name, you will count 10 characters in it, including space. You have to count space as well. So that is about length. Now we will work on the third command, that is print, and we have to use, okay, we have to use script function. I have given spaces before Java and after shell, and that spaces will be cut with the help of string function, a script function, and that is that need to be used with the help of variable name dot. It is actually a class, inbuilt. It's an inbuilt class, so we will call with the help of name dot script function, which is inbuilt. So when we will call it, the extra spaces will be cancelled out. Okay. Okay, now the next function we will use is like we start with the print, and then name dot okay, lower, we can use lower function, and lower changes the whole variable into a lower alphabets, into a small alphabets. See, you can see in the output, earlier it was Java shell in capital letters. Now the next thing is Java shell, and the spaces is still including to tell you that that operator hasn't worked. So when we'll write upper dot upper, the things will change, and it will change into Java shell. Okay. So when we will write the script function, it does not mean the output will be saved into that variable. It will just change it for temporary basis, and you can judge from the output. Okay, now we will do the slicing of the string, and I have written one, colon 3. So what will happen? The 1 will be J, 0 will be J, A will be, 1, and when the result will be come out, it will be like, okay, the space is here. So first I cut out the space and then I run. So it will start from the 0 and it will end till 3 minus 1. It will not end till 3. Okay. What I mean is, whatever the second, indent number is there, it will be 1 less. It will not be the same one. So if I'm writing here 1 colon 3, it is actually working as 1, colon 2. It is not working as 1 colon 3. So that is a thing, friends, and that is really need to be noticed. So that's why the output is AV. It not come as AVA. So that is really important thing to notice, friends. And this slicing is like very common in many functions and classes. This thing you need to learn by heart. You can practice some more examples in it. So now we will run our another code, which is print. I'll write name and call out the function replace. Okay, you can replace also any alphabet, you can replace just with the help of that square brackets. Okay, no, you can replace with the circular brackets, and you just need to write that any letter or character, or you can write two characters also at the same time. First you need to write the character, and then you need to write the other character which you need to replace. Okay, so in this statement, what it defines is that if a string has a in it, it should be replaced with z. Or you can say if the string has AV in contact, like, then it should be replaced with Z. So it will be replaced with Z, and the output will come out as JZA shell. So this is the output, friends. You can also replace any character, or you can also replace the whole string also. So this is up to you how you want to use your functions. We have used strip till now, lower, upper, and replace till now. So we are using replace. Now again I will comment it, and I'll write and try one more code here. So let's see. So what if I want to just replace the commas in whole string with the space? So you can also use this thing in that also. You can define, you can assign as many variables as you want, and then you can replace your commas with a space. So you can replace, you use the replace function in it. So this is how it works. So this is like very important code in the strings. Every code is important and has its own unique features. It's just you need to try more and more on that code, and that code will always be remembered in your head. Python already is very friendly language. I haven't seen any other language as friendly as Python is. So you just need to type some English words in a very strict manner. It's just Python. Truly, it's just amazing to type in Python because it's less stressful. It's very easy to use. So I'm writing one more name, Java Shell, and name one actually, and name two will be coder. So going to use now format function for you. So how it works, I will declare one more variable temp. Okay, and then I will write some line here. Okay, it's the best academy, and then I will write some curly brackets here, and this curly brackets will be defined in just a second. Okay, I will let you know what's going on. I know it's getting a bit confused, but it's not. It's very easy. When you will see the result, you will be shocked and you will become a best. Okay, so I have given two names. Okay, and I want in this curly brackets this name to be, just put it out. But how? We can use a format function. You are actually creating a template. The names can be different. You can rewrite names. You can just take input names. So I'm just making a template, and you will use the format function. If a person will put name one as Avni and name two as Kaur, then the answer of this line should be this. You have created a template. So I have put name one at first and name to a second, then the answer is coming out to be Best Academy's Java shell, and you will become a best coder. Okay, I have given some extra space also now, and you can see the best, representative way of line. I want to tell you that in first curly brackets it's 0, and in second it is by default it is 1. So this is actually way to write. If you write 0 and 1, the answer will be same. But if you will write the opposite one, 1 and 0, then the name 2 will come first and name 1 will come later on. Okay, so you have to just cross check this, that the way you are writing it is very important. I already told you that Python is writing something in English, but in a very strict manner. You cannot ignore such things, that in a curly brackets, the one what it means, zero what it means. It is not necessary to do it. You can go by default feature also, but if in any case you want to just reverse the names, then you can follow up this method also. And there is one more method also, that is called fraction method, and this is also done by f thing. You have to create a template, and then f, you have to use just f, and then you have to start inverted commas Best Academy's name one, and you will become best name 2. In curly brackets you can directly write it. This is the latest coding style or format came up, and I find it more easy than the earlier one. So it's up to you to choose which format you want to choose. Either you want to choose dot format or you want to choose this F method. So both are equally easy. I find the second one very much easy. So it's up to you again, guys. So now we'll work on the other code, which is also very interesting. And this is very simple code which we actually forgot to do earlier. So I'll take one variable, okay, and you will see that I will write inverted commas, and how I will use the inverted commas in that coding part. Basically, I want to tell you that that single and double inverted commas can be used for a string, but in certain situations we have to use double inverted commas or single inverted commas. So I will tell you the situations where we need to use that. So here is it. Like I have declared a variable a is equal to Avni's Coding Academy. So there a single inverted comma is already existing, and so we have to use double inverted commas in that. We cannot use single inverted commas in that because it will give us an error. It will not understand that it is a string. So the print output is already here, and now I'm going to use single inverted commas. Okay, and I will show you. Okay, so here is the error coming up. Why the error is coming up? I am telling you this because we cannot use single inverted commas if it is already existing in a string. So we have to keep that in mind. If it is already existing in the string, we cannot reuse it again. And similarly, it goes with double inverted commas also. If the double inverted commas is existing in a string, you cannot use that again for to represent a string. You have to use single inverted commas then. So I'm taking example again. A is equal to coding academy java shell, and outside I've used again double inverted commas. That is wrong. You have to use single inverted commas and run and see the coding academy java shell. So this is a difference which I want you to understand. Okay, now we'll cross check our last codes. Okay, yes, which I forgot to tell that I have written one. I've written one, print name one, in brackets, in square brackets. What if I write -1? What will be the output? I want you to use your brain once. Okay. Okay, if you don't get it, then I'll tell you. The last element of the string will be the result. See, the L, Java shell L. It will start from last. -1 means the last element or last character of the string. So it works this way. From last, if the counting occurs, it's like -1, -2, -3. So for slicing also we can try. Okay, 1 to -1. I want answer to come out like from 1 to -1. So how it will come up? It will come till -2. I always said that it will come one less. Okay, the second part of the slicing is actually one less than the actual value. So it will come like our shell, one less L. Okay, so this is the way it works. Next topic is operators, friends. So we will work on this now. I have to take another cell and I'll perform my coding on operators. So let's start. So, okay, I have commented it, and firstly I will tell you what kind of operations we will use in operating coding. So plus, minus, multiply, that are very familiar. So we will start firstly with this, and then we will introduce some new operators also. Okay, so I'm going to print 5 plus, you can print anything, a plus b also you can declare earlier. So I'm going to print 5 plus 2 and it will give me 7. This we have already done. I'm just performing it to make you understand different operators, so that's why I am just performing it. So it is multiply, and also we can perform modulus. you know It's a modulus function, and it will give me, if you will divide 5 by 2, and the remainder will be 1. So you can also divide 5 by 2 like this, and the answer will be 2.5. It gives floating number also, friends. With this I want to tell you that also, not only integer, it will give floating number also. But if we put two slashes, two divide signs, then it will only give me integer number. So this is a new operator for you, double slash, and double star will give me actually the square of a number. Okay, so square of 5 will be 25, square of 7 will be 49. So this way it will work. So now we have to work on increment. If you want to increment any number, so how we can perform that? So I have taken x is equal to 6. The first way to perform is like x plus 1 or x plus 2. You can write anything. Okay, so I will print that. Okay, I will print x and see the result. This is a way to increment actually. Increment means you have to increase any variable or integer. So it is coming out to be 8. So other way to write this statement will be x plus is equal to 2. That is the other way to write, and this is a more easy form to write any statement like this when you want to increment, because it will take less time firstly, and in when you opt for loops or functions, so you have to find out easy way out. So that's it, and that's about operators. So we have to start about new concept, and that is collections. So what is collections? We will work on it. So that's a new topic, collections. Friends, collections has further four types, and that is number one will be the most important, that is list. You have heard about list, of course. And the second is tuple. That might be the new term you have heard. And the third is set, and the fourth one is dictionary. Dictionary here means the same thing which you actually know to define something. So we will work on this. So let's start with our first collection, that is list. So what is list? Actually, it is much similar to array. If you are a coder, then you must have heard the term array. So it is similar to array. And if you are a non-coder and if you haven't learned any coding language, then I will relate this to a collection. It's a collection of any data. It's a kind of data structure. So I'll create a list in a square brackets. That is a syntax to denote list, that it is in a square brackets, and here duplicate entries are also allowed, and it is ordered, and it will be changeable. It can be changeable. So these 3 points you have to remember. And what I want to tell you is that lists are very coolest feature of this Python. I really like it. Okay, so okay, let's start with the new code, and that is like if you want to find a particular character or particular element in the list, then we have to use that array box or a square brackets again, and you have to mention the number. Like I have put 1 and output is 6. It is due to because the counting starts from 0, 1, 2, and so on. So also we can declare a variable and put that print option in that, and you can directly print out the x element again. So this will also give us the uh, right output. Things can happen in many ways. I'm just showing you as many ways as possible, so that you try as a coder lots of things. In coding, the one way cannot be possible. There has so many ways. So I want you to try every way so that you become a great coder. Really a great coder, I really mean it. So okay friends, so now the next thing is I will opt for slicing. Okay, so we have done slicing earlier, and it performs the function really the same way. You can see I've written 2 ratio 4, and the output is coming up 9 comma 1. Okay, so what if we want to update our list, any element? Okay, I'll say list 1 is equal to any element, let it be 31. So the 6 will change into 31. You can see if I you know reprint the list, the element will come out to be 31. Let me run it again. Okay, that is another pop-up window. So you can update it basically, what I mean is. And updating is a very good element, and it is only possible in list. It is not possible in some other collections, which we'll discuss later on. So we are working on it. So we have updated an element, but it has not come up. Why? Because we have that x is equal to list array box, I mean square bracket 1. We have put that earlier. That need to be put out later on after that updating part. And if we will put that later on and then run, and you will see the you know the output is here. The 31 element is here. We were they were showing the earlier result, the earlier array box result. So this is about updating. And now we will perform some other operations on list. Many operations can be performed. I am just opting for the some of the famous operations. If you will Google it, you will find list of lots of functions which you can perform, and I want you to perform those. So now I'm creating another list, and that is Avi, Joy, and Queen. I am putting up strings there, and will print that list first, and will show you the output. Let's see. Run. Okay, I have not commented the earlier part. Okay, that is really okay. I will comment that. Okay, so our list is coming up. Okay, so now we will use some other operations. Okay, we can append it. Append means you can add on, you can pop up, means you can delete it. So we will perform different operations now. First we will take out any element from the list. Let's take one first element, and you can see the joy will come up, and that will make us joy. So these things happen. These things are quite similar like we have done earlier. It's keep on repeating till we learn it completely. So I'm not stopping here, so that's why, because I want you to perform all of these operations, because it will make you learn. That is important. Okay, so I'm going for the type of the list here now. What is the type of the list? And I will show you that it will come up with the list proper. It will tell me the class that it is a list. So friends, if you don't know about class, what is class, then please don't bother. I will tell you, I will explain you later on. But for the time being, I want to tell you that that it's an object. All the variables are kind of object of some classes, so it's an object of class list. Okay, so now I'm performing append operation. If you can see, I've append AK, and it has appended to the list, and it will append at the last, uh, okay, in the last of the list. And so you can see AK in the list in the output. And now we will perform one more operation. Let's see, x is equal to list dot. When you put dot, there will be many functions will come out. So I'm going to remove something. Okay, let's remove the appended part AK. Okay, so if you see the list, then you can see that AK element has been removed. So you can remove, you can append. These operations we have not performed earlier, but we will perform now. Okay, and some more operations I want to do now. I want to insert element at particular place. So how we will perform that? You have to see. I'm using square brackets. Okay, okay, and no, actually we have to use the circular brackets, and we have to first tell the position where we want to insert, and then you have to specify what you want to insert. And remember that you have to use string here only. Okay, and if that is an integer, you don't have to put strings. Okay, so I hope that is clear. You have to put strings if that element is string, and if that is not string, if in the first position you want to put element 2, so you just need to write 1 comma 2, then the 2 will be added in the list. So now we will perform some other operation also. List dot pop, and the pop will automatically delete the last element. You see here, it will delete, it will pop up the last element. So we will now perform some other operations also. Lots of operations are present. I'm just trying my best to use as many as possible. So what clear will do, it will clear the list actually. The list will not exist when we use the clear operation. Let's see the change. It will clear and also will not give us any error. That thing need to be remembered, that it is not giving us any error. But what if we use something else? Let's try one more code. It actually give us error. Okay, So that is particularly delete function, I suppose. Yes, let's perform. If I'm deleting the list, so I have deleted the first element. And what about if we delete the list? This function is working. I just wanted to check earlier. That's why I deleted first element. And if I delete the list, you will get the error. But you are not getting error when I, write the clear command. So these two things you can remember or relate that there might be one function which will not give you error even if you perform it, and there might be some other function. The output might be the same, but it will give you some error. So they are saying in the error that this is not defined. Now we will proceed to second type of collection, that is tuples. And a tuples is a type of collection only, but the difference between list and tuples will be that you cannot update any element in tuples. And also you have to represent in parentheses. In list, we have to use square brackets. Here you have to use circular brackets, or you can say parentheses here. So I'm writing a variable for tuple a is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm declaring that as a variable var. So now I will print that. Okay. When I print var, you will see the output. It will come as 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a basic tuple I am representing here. Now, if you want to know the type of this collection, so how we will know that? We have to write a type function for that, and I'm writing a here, or you can directly write var here. So you will know the type, that is the tuple. Here the class is tuple and your object is a. I am again saying don't go deep into it. At the right time, I will tell you what is class. Till now, you have to understand this thing. This is all built in types. Okay. So now again, I will write a new code for this variable a1. So what is that actually? I'm going to extract an element from here, and I have to check if this is possible. Yes, after running this, you will see that it is possible for 1 minus 1 0 colon 3, or whatever you want to write it here to extract any element. It means that indentation or slicing is possible. So that is not the case of worry. So what is a case of worry is updation, and I already told you that in tuple you cannot update any element, but still we will try and see what will happen if we will update any element. So I'm going to write a, supposing the element 1, we have to change 1 is equal to, let's say, 22. I want to write 22. So I will write 22 and run the code, and you will see the error will come up. In error, they are saying that tuple object does not support this item assignment. So what we will do? Suppose we have think that we want updation. We want to change a number. So for that, you just need to do typecasting. And in typecasting, you will change this to a list. And if you will change this to a list, you can automatically change, that any number, and you can update any number. You can add, insert, anything you can do in that number. So I'm going to change this. If you just cross check this, this variable, that what is a type of this variable, then you will just get the answer that it is a list. Now I'm going to type that type a, so you will get the answer that it is a list now. Okay. So this is a way you can check the class. I'm again saying that these are just the objects of the class and these are built-in types. So what next we have to do is just try an updation method now, and you will see that it is going to be updated. We'll run the code, and this is how updating will be done. That's why I always say that you use hash comment the time when you execute your last code, because it creates lots of mess. So I've just changed a little bit code, and see, this is updated now. The second element or the first element is coming up into week 22. So now let's start with the set, and it is a third type of collection. So we have to work on now curly braces. Set is defined within curly braces. So it is good in the case if we have duplicate entries, and in output we don't want duplicate entries, we want simple output. So in that case set is very useful. So we'll see. I'm writing the code and I have duplicate entries in fact in the set. So I'll get the standard ordered, list, or sorry, it's a collection. I got a collection of a right ordered collection, and it's called set. So now we will, apply some codes here and apply some functions here, like I'm applying length. So I'll apply length and find out what is the length of this set. So we will get the result, and as we have declared it in var variable, so we'll get the 5. Why? Because actual set, which is the output, that is the original set which is coming up in the output. That's why the length is 5. Now if you want to add any number in this set, so how we will add with the help of add function. Suppose I'm adding 22, you will see that it will add in the end of the list, in the end of the list. Sorry, it's a set. It's always confusing when we are using collection, because the terms are a bit similar. So it happens. So okay, we have added that in a set. Now if we want to update, we have to add if we want to add a lot of numbers, then we will use update operation, and you will see that I'm using a square brackets inside it, and now you can see I'm updating it. See, the numbers are updated. You have to use curly brackets as well as square brackets in it. You have to be very careful in this. You cannot just add like that. Okay, and now we will do something more in the set. We'll try to remove an element. See, if I try to remove 6 number from the set, that it automatically removes every 6 element, and the output is 134922. Similarly, we can remove some more elements also. We can remove 2 elements also. So this is the way things happen. And what if we want to remove an element which is not there? Then an error will occur. So there are chances, there are functions in which error can occur, so you have to be like very careful. Earlier I defined a clear and delete term, and I showed you the difference. So this is a similar case, I would say. Now if I will use discard term, you will see that there will no error come. You can see there's no error in this. You can use the discard term just like that. Okay, and okay, so I want you to try some more methods. You can Google for it, and these are very easy one. The other ones are also very easy. It's just that we have tried it earlier, so I want you to try for this type of collection. Some of them are like clear, delete, and there are some more. And there are some more methods. If you will Google it, then you will get to know there are a lot of interesting methods. And not only for set, you can also try those for tuples, or you know the list, or also for the upcoming thing which we are going to study, dictionary. So these are just methods which are going to repeat. Also you can try intersection and union method also. So now we will work on dictionary, that is the last type of collections. And by the name it is depicted that we just need to define the elements in the dictionary. The thing in the syntax, you have to define each and every element. So and after that you have to extract with that name only. So we'll see how the thing's gonna work. I have defined a variable a tick, and in curly braces we'll define a dictionary. Suppose we take as name, and we have to put that in strings. You can put in you can input some integer value also, but name is obviously in string. Then we have to put comma. You don't need to forget that. Everything is important in writing a dictionary. So then age, which I'm writing in integer, I've written 26. And then okay, some other element, hobby. Okay, and colon, and I write, let's say, cooking. So I'm writing cooking here. Okay, and I have already added print edit, and you can see the result. A dictionary is just is output in our output screen. You can say name, Avni, age, 26, hobby, cooking. And now what if we want some element from it? You can't write, in square bracket 0, 1, 2, so that it can be extracted. You have to write the actual uh, name of the element. Suppose Avni is the answer and the name is the, we have to call out by these things like before indentation. I've written age here, so I'll get the age. If I want name, you have to write name there. And please remember that Python is a case sensitive language. You cannot avoid that. You have to be careful in that. So I've commented the rest codes, and now I'll do something more in this. Okay, I'm going to update an element. Okay, so for that I have to write edit age is equal to 29. And okay, oops, I've had a spelling mistake. I'll fix that. See, they are also saying that we cannot find this name. They are very intelligent, so we have to fix our name and run the code. And now you can see the age is 29 and it's coming up here. Updating process is going very smooth. So by now you must have find a difference in all the types of collection, but you will observe one thing: the syntax part is quite similar. Adding, popping, or inserting, updating. You just need to observe a code little, and I'm sure you will get these terms. So if I try to pop age, I'm getting an error. Why? Because I have written in a square brackets. Okay, so you don't need to write that in a square brackets. You have to write in square brackets while just updating it. When you want to update, then only you need to write in square brackets. Otherwise, you can just write that. So these are very minor mistakes which usually happens, but when you will practice more and more, I'm sure these mistakes will just clear up. Okay, so we'll find the length of the element edit, and you have to print x here, and then we will run the code. Okay, and it's coming up. Yeah, we have written three elements, and the length they are showing is 3 only. Okay, now we take one more variable and do some more operations. Edit dot copy. If you want to copy this, whole data in some other variable, like in y in this case, so you have to, do this copy term. And now I will print for y that printing has been successful, but I have to get the age. Yes. So this is the way you can copy your all elements to some other, variable. So this is quite easy and interesting, I suppose. I hope you are enjoying it and noting down it, and I'm sure you will perform it in your collab. And if you're performing it, just do post your collab file, in the comment section. I will surely check it. And if you are in trouble with some of your code, just share your file. I will fix it out. So do try some more methods in this last collection. Okay. Now let's start with a new concept, that is if else. You must have heard in daily life, if this happened, then do this, else do that. This is a very normal English we use in our daily lives, but we use this in coding too. And now we are searching for our input code, which we have done earlier. Okay, I'm find it. So we're gonna use it again, and I've already told you, when we have to use any number, you have to do typecasting, and if you want to use any string, you can do use it directly. So this is the thing we're gonna work it again, and we'll use if else statement with that also. So let's start. I've taken age. We have to do typecasting here. Int. Uh, let's write the input function. Enter your age, or you can write anything. You don't need to be specific the way I write. You can use your visualization. Okay, so now I will say print age. The answer is coming up, but this number is actually a string value. It's not it's not a integer. So if you want to do further calculations, you cannot do. The string variable will definitely show. We can check it by using type operation, and you can see the string has come up, that it is referring to a class string. It is not an integer. So this is what I want to show you in my first step. If you have forgot, so we have to do typecasting. I've used an int word, and I'm changing it into an integer. You can see, and now I'm going to run it. The class has changed into int. Now you can use it for further calculation, but I'm going to use for if else statements, that if this is a condition, so you have to do this. Here you have to use indentation sign, that is colon sign, friends. And the special thing about colon sign is, friends, that when you press enter, it will keep your cursor at specific position. Okay, so you have to start your code from that, not from before that, because it will give you an error. You have to be very, very careful, because even the experts can get an error in this case. So you have to be very careful when you press enter, the position uh, where the cursor leave you, you have to start it from here, there only. So in this case, it is one less than, in actual line. I'm writing if age is greater than 28, and I'm going to line, I'm going to print some statement. You can think of any some independent decision. So this is it. And you can see I have write an indent after if. Now I will use elif. I will not use else before, because elif is the term when if statement does not match with if, or many more ifs, then elif term can run. So if I'm saying if age is equal to 18, then what that person can do? He can vote, I suppose. He can drive a car. You can write anything in print, but just remember an indent sign. When you press the enter, the cursor, wherever he leaves you, you have to start it from there only. Okay, you have to leave one space from that line. Okay, now the else part I have to run. You have to print, written you can enjoy. In rest of the case, you can enjoy. Okay, so I'm writing my age here, and you can see my answer is you can enjoy. And I'm enjoying, right? Python is so much fun. Come on, guys, you can do it. It's very easy. It's just you you will love it. You will fall for this coding. It's so much easy. It's just an English, simple English, and yes, a bit strict, but it's very easy to use. Trust me. If you have not tried other coding languages, you will enjoy this coding. You will say the coding is very easy. And if you have tried other coding, I think I don't need to speak on that, right? You must be saying, oh God, this Python, this is so easy. You don't need to input any files. You don't need to write system.out.println or something like that. So it's quite easy. Trust me, friends. So I've tried for every number, and I've tried this if else statement. Now I'm commenting it, and I'm going to use it some in more interesting way. Okay. So if age is greater than 10, indent sign, I pressed enter. And if I'm not writing it anything here, so you will get an error. But in one case, you can be escaped from this error if you write pass. If you will write password, then you will not get an error. You will just left with the box. Okay, you can write anything, but that code will not run. But you will not get any error also. Now I will comment that also and try some more statements. If um, I'll write this one. A is equal to 12, B is equal to 13, and C is equal to, let's say, 14. So I'm mentioning it, I'm not using any input variable. So I'll check these three with the help of if else. So I'm saying if A is, I'm actually using, intersection or an and operator, intersection and union operator. So I'm going to teach you on that. If A is less than B and A is less than C, in this, if I'm using and operator, then it means that both conditions need to be true. Okay. And if I'm using or, then it means only one of the statements can be true. Then only it will run a print code. And one thing more, friends, you don't need to put brackets here when you are mentioning the condition. It happens when you are when you used to write brackets in other programming languages. So you have to be very careful in this language. You no need to put any brackets here. And if you are non-coder, the things are very much easy. You'll say, wow, it's some other English line, right? And now I will comment that, and we'll test for or also. If B is greater than A, or no, or C is greater than A, if you can actually see the B is not, B is greater than A, yes. Okay, we make one condition which is not true. If A is greater than C, which is not true, then the print should occur and it give us only, in this case only one condition need to be true and this print statement will run. Okay, so we will run this code and you will see this print statement will run, definitely run, because we have used or. You can see. So now you can try some more methods in if else. There is nested if else also, um, which is um, which is very easy. You just need to perform it. In nested if else, there is if statement in if, further if. So let's start with some other concept, that is loops. Loops in Python. So for loops in Python, there are two types of loop actually, for loop and while loop. First we'll do with for loop. So in for loop there is basically, there is a range. Um, so we have to set one range and till that the code will run. Suppose we want to print a number from 1 to 100. So we'll tell the range like for I in range. Okay, and we'll specify in brackets like from where 0 to 100, and we'll tell the condition what we want to do, like we want to print I. there will be an error. Why? Because we haven't put that indent sign, that is colon. You forgot that. And when you will enter, from there you have to write your code. And now we will run the code. You can see that it has been printed, but till 99. And if we will write like I plus 1, then the 100 element will also come, because it placed one less element, so that's why it is coming 99. But we have put plus 1 in output, so we will get till 100. I want to comment that and try some more uh, codes for loop. Suppose we have a list, and hope you remember, for list we need to use square brackets, and I have used some integer values and also a string variable, that is a me. So with the help of for loop you can just extract your list also. So I'm writing for I in list, you need to print I. So whatever there is in list, it will be just um, comes out as an output. Also you can use some of if concepts, you can combine both the concepts and use some more code, like I'm using it. If I is equal to 2, then the condition should be break. See, the break term is used in a very different manner, and I'll show you how. And again, I forgot to think about, okay, the indent method is not right, you have to fix that, because the if statement I'm using is that should be inside the for loop. That is not the different statement, that is not out of the loop. And now we will run the break. It will just give me only two values, 1 and 2. Okay, so you know this this definitely help you to print only two elements or three elements. You can put condition in for loop, that how many elements you want to see. You can use break, you can use continuous. Now I will show you how to use continuous word in loop. So let's start with it. You can see I'm using for I in Avni, print I, and you will get Avni but in different way. So, what I want you guys to do is try some more statements, like I've used break. You can use continuous also, and you can see how things change. Or you can try some other collections also. Like I've used list. You can try it for tuple, set, or dictionary, and you just post your Google Colab file. I'm again saying, or share in with my email ID, which is already mentioned in the channel, And now let's start with the new loop, while loop that is. So it also works similar in a similar manner like for loop, but still there is a difference, and you will see how. Here the condition should always be mentioned, not like for loop. Condition is also mentioned there, but here the condition need to be mentioned for the continuity of the loop. So I'm going to use same example. You have to print numbers from 1 to 100 with the help of while loop. You will use while here. We used to use for there, and we used to write I in range. And here tell we will define first I variable that I have taken already 0, and we have to tell where till where this loop should run. I write I less than 100. So I will say print I, but how this loop will be incremented after printing 0, how the loop will execute again. So you have to mention the condition that I should always be like incremented by 1. I is equal to I plus 1, and then you will run, and you can see the code has been executed. Again it has run till 99, because for 100 term the this code will not run, because the condition given is for I less than 100. Okay, so that's why the 100 term has not come. But if in the output we will write print I plus 1, then the 100 will come up. Now again we will use break and continuous statement here, and we'll show how things work here. I'm mentioning the condition with if, that if I is equal to 30, then it should get break. These friends, don't forget the indent sign. When there are two or more indent sign, then the code gets little confusing, but you have to be very careful with that, otherwise error will definitely come. You can see the error, and it is a space error, and I'll show you step by step where the error is. So you have to just reprint the upper terms here. Again the indent problem, you have to fix it for every line. I'm running it just to show you that it's in every line. If it's in one line, then it's in every line. You have to fix it accordingly. See, I'm running it for you so that you understand where the problem can arise and how many spaces you have to give. So what we have written, like if I is equal to 30, then the statement should get break. So it's breaking up. Now we'll use something more tricky here. We'll use the continuous term. And what continuous exactly do, like break, skip that statement and run. Similarly, continuous break, break only that part of the statement and continue rest of the code. In break, the rest of the code does not appear, but in continuous, only that part of the code does not run, and rest of the code, the loop will again restart. Okay, you can see that in the output. So now we will try some other concept, that is functions. It's very interesting part of Python programming. So first we will understand how to define functions. I've created new cell and commented the functions on top of it, and then I will show you how to define function. We use def word. So this is a symbol of functions, def word, and we can write the function name. I'm writing welcome. You can write anything. Def welcome, and then you have to put that indent sign again and press enter, and I'm writing print statement welcome in Java shell, and you are always welcome, friends. So this way the function will just be recorded. It will not run. If I put just switch on the run button, it will not show anything in output until we call this function. Yes, in function we need to create a function first and then call it, and now I'm calling it welcome, bracket close. So you will get the output welcome in Java shell. So now I will comment that and perform some new operations on function. We'll try to multiply two numbers with the help of function. I've created def element and will try multiply. Here we will declare two elements also. In the arguments, I've used word mul, a comma b, and then indent sign. Remember the indent sign, friends. And then you have to return, you know, how two numbers should be multiplied. Like it should be like a star b. So now you will call the multiply thing, the multiply function, and you have to put the values inside it. When you will call the function, you have to put the values inside it. Like I have put 5 into 3, and now I will print it. Print m, and you will see the output 15. So okay, so when we are calling the function, you cannot write star there. That thing need to be write in return statement. Here you have to put just comma, just like function. You cannot change the function style. So here comes the output 50. I will comment them all again. I'm again defining one function, defining func country. So I have taken a variable in country format because I am going to use string format here. Earlier we were using integers, but now I will use string and will perform a code on a function. So I have written India as we belong to India, right? And we'll say I am from India. I'm going to print that statement. You can also not define that country thing. You can leave it till when you calling time, but I'm defining it for two reasons. I'll show you why. When I'm calling again that function, I'm rewriting that earlier statement, country India. I'm rewriting function Brazil that run the same function for Brazil, and I'm writing an empty function which by default will run for India. So two outputs have come up. I am from Brazil and I'm from India. So now we work on another type of code, that is classes. What is classes actually? Classes is blueprint created for objects so that objects can be created from that. So you know how classes are useful. You just need to create a blueprint for other classes, and at the time of inheritance they just extract the important features or methods from it. For example, I'm just going to tell you that we have take an example of vehicle. So you know and we define certain features, and then what happened, you can inherit you can make another class and inherit some features from it. You can declare a car, and then you can inherit features from it. You can also create another class and inherit features of scooter. So this is the way it works. So now I'm going to talk about the example. It's like class ABC I have taken, and I defined one variable in it, x is equal to 2. And now I'm going to create an object. How the object will be created? With the help of class. O1 is equal to ABC brackets, and now we have to print O1 dot x. When the object is created, you have to call that particular element also. So this is the way it works. And now I'm going to comment it and code this class with some more examples. So I'm taking class is equal to shell and then the indent sign. When we define this way, the class shell, this is actually the definition of class. And now we're going to define some features in it. So in this we are going to talk about constructor, which is very important to create. So this is the way the constructor should be made: def twice underscore and then init, and then twice underscore. Then you have to declare you know um, arguments, and with arguments you have to create one more argument, that is self. Don't forget to create that one is very important. You can further have more than one arguments, but self is like very important. So now with the help of self, we will create our data members. Self dot name is equal to name. You can change in the arguments of constructor, like you can write gname or gh, so that you can identify the difference between them. Here self dot name is another thing, and the arguments of constructor will be the after is equal to sign, that name and age. Now I'm going to create an object and going to call the class, and we have to define the constructor in this, that is Avni, which I have written, and we have to specify the age, and then I will extract the elements with the help of object. I will extract p dot name, and in another line I'm going to extract the age. So individually we can extract the elements, but what if we want to extract both the elements in one line, in one statement? First we will check if it is possible or not. So I'm going to write the print statement. Print my name is p.name. You have to call the name with the help of object. No solution for that. And my age is p.age. What do you think? This code will work or not? I don't think it will work. Why? Because p.name is a string and p.age is an integer. So in one string, both the variables should have the same format. So you cannot change the string into an integer. So in this case, we need to typecast p.age into a string. So I'm typecasting it, converting into a string. You can see I have written str, and then I will run my code. Also, you can write your statement in the constructor only by creating one function. I mean in class only. I'm creating one function def function self. You have to put that argument self inside it, and then you have to declare that print statement. You need to comment the last one. Okay, first I write this one. My name is. Now what we need to write is self dot name. Okay, here we will not use the object, rather we will use the self thing. If you're not familiar with other coding languages, then it's okay. But if you are familiar, then the self is actually this, you know, it is a way to specify some object, some variable, sorry, which is existing. So self dot name and self dot age, and again you have to convert that into a string because you cannot convert this string into an integer, and then you will run your code. You have to call this function also for running. You have to call this by an object p. So my name is Avni and my age is 28. So friends, this is the way classes work. You have already seen in type function the many classes came up, and those are actually the inbuilt classes in this Python. But there are some classes which you can also define. Those are called user defined classes, like I have been doing it. So I'm commenting out the other codes and I'm going to perform one code. I'm going to update an element. So let's see if it works. In Python, there are lot of options, unlike other programming languages. So my name is Avni and my age is 77. So you can see the update function is also working here. So also I want to tell you that Python is object oriented programming. So it does not mean that without object oriented the Python will not run. We are using like procedure oriented. We are So this thing is also working. And also, you have to keep that in mind that the object oriented concept is like very vast, and that course we will do in advanced programming of Python. For that you have to subscribe my page and channel. So I'm going to delete object, and I'm going to check it out that if works. First I'm going to delete one element from the class, and you will see that that age will not come out. When see an error, they will say that age is not defined, or one dot is not defined. So this is a problem when we delete certain things. So now they are also saying that age is not defined. What if we delete a whole object? I'm going to delete whole object now. Delete p, and then they will definitely, when you will run this code, an error will come up that we don't know any name variable or age variable. So you can check out in the output. So this is just a beginner's course of Python. For more updates you have to subscribe my page and like my channel. Thank you.